welcome to Real Talk, episode 149. I'm Todd, this is AJ, and we're back.
Yo, no clickbait for you this time, because I don't know what to say.
There you go. Behind the command tower station
Command center.
is the man, the myth, the legend, wearing what appears to be a dinosaur head today. Mm-hmm. Literally the severed head of a dinosaur. No, I'm just kidding. But
Literally the severed
why did I have
head.
to say just kidding? Like someone out there believed that he was actually. But he is wearing some sort of strange hat.
Jurassic Park.
But anyway, it's Funtern Clint. Funtern?
Hello, hello.
There he is.
Where'd you get that hat?
I think it came from the youth white elephant, but I found it in the youth room when I went and woke up late.
Is that an actual hat?
It can go around the chin, but I decided to put it around the back.
Heck yeah.
That's actually a cool gift. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's
why they
Real
didn't take
Talk?
it with them.
What'd you say?
I said I didn't know why they didn't take it with them.
What's Real Talk? Real Talk is an opportunity and a platform to talk about life, God, the Bible, and everything in between. A lot going on in the world today, and we want to be a place, I don't know, maybe gives you a fresh perspective or a different perspective than you're typically used to, whether you are on the non-Christian side of things.
Yeah.
You get to hear what some Christian guys think. If you're on the Christian side of things, maybe you get to hear, I don't know, a different viewpoint than you're used to hearing.
That's right, man.
Other
We
than
cover
that,
all ground.
somewhere in the description of this video and or podcast, you will find a link, www.theremnant.live/real-talk. Click the link, go all the way down to the box that says submit a question. Click it, type your question, comment, concern. You could even paste the link to an article.
That's right.
And ask for our thoughts. That has happened. It goes into our database completely anonymously. We've answered over 3,000 questions. I don't know.
Wow, that's wild, dude.
So, yeah, man. Up until this week, they've been rolling in. This week,
right.
they've slowed down a
That's
bit.
right, man. We kind of hit a stop here.
So I don't know. Did we get through all the ones last week?
No, we had a couple remaining from last week.
Okay, well, we'll get to those. But before we start, I think it's important for me to address another thing that I've realized.
Oh boy, what is it?
I've addressed this before.
Okay.
Yesterday, actually, I happened to look at last week's episode. I had not looked at it. Okay, the video.
Okay.
And I know God is telling me something here because of two different things. So I click it, and I'm going through it.
Okay.
And there's some pretty funny times, we catch up on account. And then you start to share your heart, and I pick up my phone and look as though I could care less about anything you're saying.
Really?
And yes, I look like the biggest jerk in the world.
Oh man.
I really no. I'm not just saying this. I really do. Like I was feeling embarrassed. So one thing that people probably don't realize: one, yes, I do have an uncanny ability to do two things at once.
Oh, yeah,
this
definitely.
is
You're a
true.
great multitasker.
But I want you to know, I like to listen to you. And out there, those of you that are watching that think I'm a jerk, I am, but not for the reasons that you think. And Funtern, it happened too. I don't know if I wasn't in that video like the week before. I clicked on that one randomly yesterday as well because I was like, no, I don't do it every time. And then Funtern's like, let me tell you a story. Mm-hmm. I just pick it up. And what I'm doing, and this is serious, 90% of the time, I'll give myself 10%.
Yeah.
90% of the time, I am doing stuff for the show, like looking up our questions or being ready.
Yeah.
But it's not an excuse. 10% though, yeah, somebody blows me up or I get a text or something. So I just want you guys to know I'm committed to not doing that. And if I pick my phone up, I'm going to give myself, and remember, 30 seconds down, leave it. It's kind of like I recognize that on the show, I've become you in life.
Become you in life.
You know what I mean? Like you think, but you are awesome on the show at staying in and like paying attention to people.
Thanks,
you look
man.
very interested. I look like I could care less about anything any human has to say.
For the record, AJ also puts his phone in airplane mode during
Good
the
idea.
show.
I should do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I actually forgot. It's I'm sitting on my phone right now because I forgot to put it on airplane mode this time. Because then if I know since I too I'm not a squirrel. I'm specifically a notification squirrel.
Yeah, I don't have any notifications except for like one app.
I can check
True
on
story.
my screen time. I think I easily get over 100 notifications a day. It's terrible.
You can disable those,
You know, I wonder if that contributes to anxiety at all.
Oh, you know what, dude? I bet it does. I never thought about that. And a lot of the time, they're useless notifications. They're from random stuff.
Why do you want to be notified?
I don't know.
I want to be notified when I have a message.
Muscle
That's it.
memory. You download something
Voicemail.
and then it's like a lot of notifications. Sure.
So anyway, I apologize to you,
Oh, it's
and
okay,
I publicly repent
I forgive
to
you.
all of you,
Yeah.
including you out there, world.
Funny enough,
That
dude.
you
Like,
see me. Remember that lady that got on?
I do remember
a
her.
year ago. It said the same thing.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I don't know why I made that voice. She said you guys need to put your phones down. I don't think she's ever been back, so I don't feel too like.
honestly, dude, like I don't even know.
I appreciated her telling me. I really did.
Yeah, that was cool of her. But yeah, honestly, dude, like I don't even.
That's because you know me though.
Yeah, that's fair. I do, and I know you're
They
listening.
they don't know.
Yeah.
And it does look terrible for optics. I mean,
Dude.
I'm not just saying this like to turn myself down. It looks terrible. It's kind of. I'm just kind of going. You know, and you guys are like crying. And I'm just here going, yeah, what up?
Dude, I think I don't know, man. Yeah, that's so funny. I think my favorite part of this episode so far has been the fact that you're like, listen, in the show, man, you're paying attention, but in life,
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't think of that way. I didn't think of it that way. My bad.
it's so funny.
I'm just on
No,
it.
it is accurate.
Dude, it's so. I was gonna say, honestly, man, it is accurate. It is convicting because, like, clearly I can.
Well,
do
I
it.
didn't mean to insult you. Actually, that wasn't like.
I took it as a pure. So it's funny to me. It's not an insult in the slightest, dude. It's so funny.
So that's it. That's. I guess I'll get this out for those that watch the video. They may look at my metal finger.
That's right, man.
If
He
those
literally
listening,
has a robot
take
finger.
a listen to this. That's my finger.
That's his robot.
It's my
finger.
right pointer finger. Has a splint on it. I could show it, I guess. You know, they probably won't be able to tell.
Yeah,
But
I can
it's-
zoom in on it.
No, I don't think you should because it'll zoom in on me. But anyway, basketball Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I was savagely attacked. He'll never watch this by Luke. Did I ever tell you guys? By the way, I'll save the story for later. About my how do I put this? I had like a premonition about a guy named Luke my whole life. Never tell you this?
No.
No.
Not a premonition. But growing up, I always had this joke that when I talked about Christian guys, right? You know, when I was like running around young college guys, like
Yeah.
you guys, I would always be like the Christian girls always like some guy named Luke, you know, with his nice smile and his. I did. He's gonna come and take your girlfriend.
The
Because, you know,
irony.
so yeah, but yeah, he blasted my. He blasted me. I blasted him. I don't know my finger, and I knew it was dislocated because you remember me saying this.
Yeah.
I don't know if were you in the game that time.
I was not. But
You
I
were.
was.
I wasn't in the game, but I
Yeah,
saw
wow,
it happen.
that's very rare that we're not one of us. But anyway,
Wait, was I? I was. I'm sorry. I was in the game. Definitely was.
anyway, I knew it was dislocated because I've dislocated so many of my fingers. You can tell this if you're watching right now. I have this what I call like a shovel finger here. This came from Flag,
It's the Tostitos dip.
but this one, yeah, this one really hurts. But it's getting a lot better. But I just want to get that out of the way because if it were me watching, that wouldn't the squirrel in me. Like,
Oh,
what
yeah,
the-
you'd be
what-
keep
what
watching,
the
looking
frick is
at
wrong
it.
with that guy? Yeah.
Yep.
So
Makes sense.
anyway, my apologies for rambling.
Oh no, that's fine.
AJ, anything to update us on in life?
I'm slowly turning back into a homeless man.
It's a slow
Probably get
fade.
some context here.
Nope. I'm kidding.
I'm
Done.
disappearing
Done.
back into homelessness.
Yeah, I really need a haircut. That's one thing. My beard's getting a little scraggly. Even though I've been told it's still soft, which to me I'm like this doesn't feel soft to me at all.
It looks pretty soft.
It's weird. So starting to go back to the old homeless look from back in the day. Trying to decide whether to embrace it or not. I've also,
You remember the time, the last time you did it, get your one mustache hair came down and made it look like you're missing a tooth? And you
Yes.
laughed.
When I took a picture, somebody caught a picture of it,
Yeah.
and it looked like I was literally missing a tooth, just because that's how thick my hair was on my mustache. It's probably getting close to being back there. Except I've noticed now that when my mustache starts hanging over my lip, I chew it off.
So gross, man.
Yeah, like I just it'll be hanging over, and I just bite it off. But yeah, so I definitely need a haircut. That's an immediate
That's an
life
immediate-
thing.
Yeah.
that's an immediate issue.
Me too, actually. My hair's getting pretty long, too.
Dude, your hair looks so nice though, man. It's nice and wavy, and when it's up, dude, it looks
You know,
so good.
I think it's one of those things, though, man, that it's like the grass is always greener. Because I'm always like, man, your hair's so straight. I literally think
Dude.
that. And then you got Clint's, who's just perfectly curled.
Yeah, man. Those curls are beautiful.
They are. He has very tight curls.
Dude,
That
I
is
like
natural.
yours because yours are it's like a looser curl. And so like you can either style it or not, and it looks good to me.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now. I mean, I appreciate that compliment, but it is funny because in my head, I'm like, straight hair is always.
No, man.
You just wake
straight-
up and go like this.
Now that is true. With straight hair, you're like straight up. I haven't done anything with my hair today.
Yeah, and,
And-
and it looks like you did.
Right. That is an advantage. Now what sucks though is that since my hair is so used to just being what was it called when you throw it a certain way your whole life?
Comb over?
No.
That is what I mean. Oh, it's like trained.
Yes.
Yeah.
My hair has been trained to go this way, and so like I'm just kind of left with that one way. I can't really do anything with it because it's just that's how it is. And when it gets longer, you know, since it doesn't curl, it's just everywhere.
It looks like a rocker, like that one picture of us that you made
Yes.
that's fake.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's such a funny picture. But
I had a grooming mishap myself today.
oh yeah.
I was trimming, if you notice here, above my lip. Do you see that?
Oh, I do. Honestly, though, I mean, unless you pointed out,
You didn't notice.
No,
yeah.
I didn't notice at all.
Because I was about to go clean shaven, which would have stunk
Dude,
for the
that
show.
would have been awesome.
I had, and then I was like, I asked them. I was like, do you notice anything? They're like, oh, the line isn't even. I was like, that isn't even what I'm talking about. Thank you for insulting me. But yeah, no. So anyway, it's funny, man. We're just not groomed people right
I
now.
think we should. Listen. My hair is at a length right now where I fully believe, especially the back, I could go mullet right now.
I don't think you should.
What if I do it for like one day,
I'm not a. Listen,
a
man.
1 day mullet, and I'll have just a mustache.
You
too.
know me. I'm gonna. Boy, that is a commitment.
I know, man. Listen, my opinion. I've said this before. My opinion on hair is it always grows back. Whether
Yeah,
it's on
that's
your
one
face
way.
or on your head.
I'll tell you what, my hair still has not come back fully from that COVID cut. I'm serious, man. On this side, because it doesn't matter what happens. I don't know if it'll ever go back.
That's fair. If you have non-professionals doing it, you may be in some sort of trouble.
Yeah.
I remember one of the most embarrassing hair stories
Excuse me, sorry. Everyone.
is my mom. She decided to cut my hair the day of like family pictures one time, and dude, she butchered it so bad.
Would
So
she go
bad.
bowl on it?
I don't even know what she tried to do. The picture used to be hung up in my grandma's living room. I look at it, dude, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But I should try to get a picture of it. I can probably text
How
my
old were
grandma.
you?
I was probably 14, 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was older. And so
Did
I
you
was
ask
like,
her to?
I don't remember how this happened.
Because I feel like your mom, I don't even know her, but basically she's not just coming and go, I'm going to cut your hair.
I don't remember how this happened.
Excuse me. Guys,
I
I'm
don't,
having
I don't know
terrible
if it was
stomach
more
issues.
like my hair looked like really like probably kind of like this, like my hair was longer and kind of like homeless looking, and she's like, hey, let's try to spruce you up a little bit, but we didn't have time to go get a haircut. So she's like, I'll do it. I was like, oh, probably whatever. Knowing myself, I was probably like, oh, okay, whatever. And so then when she cut it, I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I had bangs, so I had my bangs were short enough to go down, but she had put this huge gap right here. Like she had cut, I think there should have been bang there, and she cut it. So there was this giant gap, dude, of just like there was bang, and then there was just forehead, and like, oh my gosh, man, it was
That reminds me of the time I tried to trim the front. You remember this? This was like a couple years ago. And I remember I went and she goes, "What happened here?" I was like, "I don't know." Because it was like this big of a difference. Anyway. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. So how long did that take to grow back?
Oh, man, that took a while.
Did you have to go to school like that?
I think I did.
Or was that a summer cut?
I think it was school.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
Oh, yeah. Now, for me, I'm also like, I don't know. At some point, I'm like, you know what, screw it. I just got to embrace it.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
You got that personality that you could, too.
I remember one day I walked into school in like 8th grade with my legs shaved.
Why'd you do that?
You're not going to believe this. I already know because no one ever did. But it was warm. So it was like warmer weather during school. I was in the shower. And I used to shave in the shower.
This makes me feel uncomfortable, by the way, just so you know. This whole thing, but go on.
And I dropped the razor as I was shaving my face. And
I already don't believe it.
It caught my leg.
Okay.
And it put an awkward giant strip of nothing on my leg.
Bro, that... If I didn't know
did I
you,
overreact?
Listen,
a little bit.
If I didn't know you, that is the lamest cover-up story I've ever heard.
Nobody
in my life.
believed me. That is what
because
happened.
I'm telling you right now, even if that happens to me, I'm not shaving the rest of my legs.
It could, like I said, 100% was probably a panic thing. I was like, this looks ridiculous. There's a giant strip of nothing.
Did everybody notice your legs were shaved?
Oh yeah, because I have hairy legs.
God, that's gross, man. That is so gross.
I've had some weird times in life. That was one of them.
I don't know what to say to that.
Listen, now,
because part of me wonders, you sure this story's real?
I promise.
Or did you just sit in the shower one day and be like,
let's shave my legs.
Yeah. Do I have nice legs? Let me see.
let me see. I promise you, man. I told you were gonna believe me. That is the story.
There is no way that the force of falling, that gravity itself, cut an awkward patch, bro. I'll give you maybe this much.
Listen, this is what I mean. It's like your debit card. Like it's like your debit card stories.
That was the sharpest blade that's ever been existed.
I don't know how it happened, dude. It makes
it like a Bic? What?
I don't remember what kind of razor. It was like one of those like 4 or 5 bladed ones.
Yeah. Real quick, you know the brand Bic, right?
That's yes.
Lighters, what you were gonna say, right?
My immediate thought was lighters.
I think Bic makes lighters and razors.
They do. I think they do make razors too. You're right.
That's what I was gonna bring up. What a strange company.
Yes.
But anyway, sorry.
No,
we do
that is.
and razors.
So, yeah, dude, that's one of those like how like your phone decided to walk on legs and find itself in a place. That is one of my stories of life where people are like, there's no way I'm going. I promise you, I don't know how it happened, but there's a giant strip of nothing on my leg. It got my hair. Don't know how it happened, but it did. Now, I probably could have rolled with it, and probably no one would have noticed, or if they did, they'd be like, what the frick? Why is there a giant strip of no hair on your leg? But I was like, you know what? Let's just do that.
How long did that take to grow back?
Oh, it took a little while. Not as long as you'd think, but like probably like a couple weeks, 3 weeks.
It's a wild tale.
It is, man. That's one of those things in life that you always forget about because it was so long ago until you start talking about like the specific part of life and you go, oh no.
You get made fun of by your friends?
Oh yeah, dude. They were roasting me all day.
Yeah, I would too.
But so yeah, that's a giant rabbit hole we went down.
Quite a tale.
But yeah, it was wild, dude. Weird time in life. My leg's really smooth though.
That's so gross, man. That is.
Did
so
you know
gross.
that swimmers? I don't know if you knew
I
this.
didn't know
Swimmers, yeah, they'll like literally shave.
Well, they
all
have a
their
real
hair.
reason.
Right.
You don't. So you're not a swimmer. You know what I mean?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh my gosh, dude. Now,
This going off to the side for a second. Update on Todd's question. This company doesn't just make lighters and razors. They also make pins randomly as well.
I did know that.
That's right. They do make pens.
So those are all confirmed.
Uh-huh.
wow.
An interesting company.
Yes. They
What was
just
their
cover it
first
all.
product?
Oh, that's a good question.
He'll look into that. Anyway, anything else?
I mean, I know I've kind of last week. I kind of went into it with just life and like I was talking about, how we get into these places of like no passion or like our hearts and like we're like just life in general and like
Yeah.
So this week I know it's cool because I actually asked you the question last night and it's cool because we had a little conversation before the show, but like, just the idea of like passion and like I was thinking about like how does passion is passion a learned thing? Is passion something that you were born with? Like, and it made me go, should there be deadlines when someone is passionate about something? And like it was just cool because I got to ask questions and like, I know for me. One thing I've noticed about myself, and I've noticed it in just so many other people, man, and it's sad. It really is sad. It's like we lose passion because of fear. We let fear overrun that passion, or we let stress, or we just let other factors of life overrun that, and it's just sad, man. Because I know for me, like, I do have passions, and a lot of the time I don't act on those things because I am fearful, and I don't know what to do a lot of the time, and sometimes that takes it takes the pursuit away from that passion. Like, it's when you're doing something you're passionate about, man, and you're able to accomplish something with that, like there's a deeper satisfaction inside of you, and like that's taken away from the fear and the stress or whatever. And I don't know, I just don't want to do that, and I think I've spent a lot of my life doing that, and I don't want to. I'm if I'm looking at life at 100 years, I'm a quarter of the way through life. I'm like, what have I?
If you get to live 100 years.
Exactly, and so it's like, what have I done? What have I actually pursued passions? Have I lived life passionately, man? And I don't know if I can say I have. I've been a part of some cool things. Like, that's cool. I can look back and go, man, that was cool that I tried that, or hey, I did that.
Yeah.
But it's funny, man, because I don't know about you, and I don't know if you feel like this, but I definitely have had parts of myself where, like, especially since I've spent more of this life not saved than I have saved.
Yeah.
Is sometimes I can look like that, I can draw that line, and it almost feels like that old part of me like doesn't exist anymore. So it's almost like it's like you're a new creation.
I was like, it's the craziest thing, man.
So
like you died, you came back. Yeah.
So it's like I can almost look at those things I've done before, and it's almost like they don't count, And I don't know if that's
Like
healthy.
the things you did before that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, man. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe you kind of look at it instead of like it was before, is that it was redeemed. That stuff was redeemed.
I like that. So that helps with the thought process of like things like it wasn't all meaningless.
No.
I guess.
Oh, absolutely. You did. Listen, you had parts of. Excuse me, so sorry.
Oh, you're
God's
okay.
character. Even then,
That's true, man. I guess.
Oh,
yeah, that's
chilly
been
in
one of
this
the.
room right now.
It is chilly, dude. It's real cold.
Funtern, you might have to duck under there, man, and shut that off. I can't even function. But I guess it's good to keep me awake. Sorry, go on.
I think the biggest thing, man, is just what's been on my heart is just like what does it look like? Oh man, it's so sad to see myself and so many other people live a life that isn't passionate, even if you have passions, because you're just so scared. Like, I don't know, man, it just sucks. Like, you don't want to see that in people. And like, and it's hard because I see it in myself. And, I guess for me, it's like, it's hard for me to ask questions sometimes on it. Cause I'm like, I don't know where to even start sometimes. Like, cause I can ask myself, okay, like, what does it look like to live out of your passions? And it's like, I don't know. Do I already know, or do I not? Do I know how to do that, or do I not? I don't know. Sometimes, I think it depends on my where I'm at.
Well, you mean as far as do you know how to live passionately? Is that what you
Right? Yeah. Like, do I actually know how, or do I not? And it's like, how do I figure that out? Because I feel like I've had moments of it, right? Like I've had moments of living passionately, but does that mean like was it just a sporadic moment that I didn't actually understand what I was doing. I just did it, or was it, you know? And maybe that's what life is. You know, maybe we don't have to have an understanding of what it is to live passionately, man. You just do it. I don't know. So, yeah, that's kind of where I've been at. Just like, what is passion, and like, how can I live it? You know, because I want to live passionately.
Have you talked to God and asked him for it?
Probably not like I should. I think
Listen,
it's
man,
kind of
either
like a
you have or you haven't. And if you haven't, then, you know, because sometimes you can catch ourselves in that habit. Oh, I should. Not like I should. It's like, whenever I've said that, it's like, no, I really haven't. I'm just trying to make it sound better. I'm not
That's
saying that's
fair.
you.
Yeah, because like I've done it passively. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Like I've been like God, like, you know, like, hey, like, you know, I really like what I'm doing. You know, but I haven't
Help
been like
me.
yes, I haven't been like help me live passionately. I haven't done that.
got you.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
but yeah, man, I don't know. Like, it's funny. I guess and maybe this is just one of the mysteries of life, but like to me, it's so hard to understand myself sometimes. Like, how is it that I can feel so grateful and so thankful for life, but also still like sit in the rut of it? Does that make sense?
oh yeah.
Like, how is that possible? You know, I don't know.
Neither do I, my friend.
Like, how
Because I've been there.
how can I be so like how can I have passions in life but yet not pursue them? Like, it's just weird, man. And you know, and you've talked about Paul a lot, in Romans, you know, and it's like, dude, it sounds like he was going through a lot of the same stuff, but he still walked. You know, he still did a lot of insane things.
Yeah.
So it's like if Paul, he's just a mortal man like I am. Like, why? What's the difference? You know, is that where the mustard seed of faith comes in? Is that what that means? You know, is it that when you do have that mustard seed of faith, that's when you really start walking? I don't know. So, yeah, hope that makes sense, or at least people can understand where I'm like where my mind's been anyway.
That's to me.
Yeah.
Funtern, you got any thoughts? No? Okay. I appreciate you sharing that, man.
Yeah.
Sorry I don't have a lot of insight. I mean,
No, that's okay. And like, I haven't. You told us to read Ecclesiastes. Maybe this is why I'm like, man.
I did?
I think so.
I don't remember saying
You've mentioned a few times that we should. Oh wow, that was loud. That we should read Ecclesiastes. So we started reading it. All of the Remnants guys.
so like 6 months ago, probably, or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
We run a late schedule.
Yeah, that's been happening lately. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
So-
it just makes you realize life. Right,
Yeah, dude.
I am so cold.
Dude, it is cool, man.
Sure,
It's all futile.
I've been
meaningless. Everything's meaningless.
Yeah, man. I've been saying that randomly just because it's funny, but like, I don't know, man. It's relatable. Like, I read what he's writing. I'm like, man, it does. Like, I feel that. So maybe that's part of like my thinking, but I don't know. Where does it lead to? I guess that's my next
Well, I
question.
mean, his point in that is, except pursuing God. If you do all that without God, it is meaningless. It's not those things itself are meaningless, but anyway.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's where I've been. How about you, man? How you doing?
I only got two things to say. One, I just checked. I slept 2 hours, 5 minutes.
Holy
a little more than
cow.
I thought. And typically, you know, I roll pretty good on no sleep, but it's hitting me today, man.
Dude,
No, I'm being real with you.
2
right now.
hours
I'm
is-
not being dramatic.
Yeah.
Everybody on the camera's going. I'm not sure I can function. So we'll see how this show goes. Like,
Dude.
I'm struggling.
2 hours is rough, man. For real.
I feel kind of sick. Secondly, I'm very uncomfortable in my own skin. Now, this is something that men don't talk about, but you know what? I'm gonna broach the subject.
Nice, that's right. Burst the bubble. Let's get it.
I gotta lose weight, man. And I feel self-conscious about it lately, which is crazy. Because, like, I don't walk around and go, "Ugh, ugh," like, it's such a weird thing that it doesn't affect my overall confidence as a man. It really doesn't, I tell you. But, like, the way I feel, you know? I feel bloated and stuff, so that stinks. So I gotta do that. So I'm trying to commit to that. I want to lose 20 pounds by the end of February. We'll see if it happens, but
I believe in you.
that's my goal. Which the hard part here, and people don't believe this if you don't know me, is I train so hard. You know this.
You do, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, honestly, man, and I don't mean this arrogantly. There's very few people that probably train as hard as I do. Like, that aren't professional athletes or, like, my age, you know, those kinds of things.
Right.
Or, you know, high-level collegiate athletes. And it just doesn't, my body's so weird, man, that it just doesn't look that way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I don't just weight train. You guys, I sprint, I run.
Right.
So, I'm in good shape. It's a very frustrating thing. I don't even eat terribly. You guys know this. And it doesn't make any sense, man. So it actually really irritates me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, you know my thoughts on that.
yeah, I mean, I had a shot in my back a while back that could have caused some issues.
Yeah, man.
But those are probably kind of the two things going on right now at this exact moment. Is that my lack of sleep combined with somebody's going, well, that's why you're getting late time, because you don't sleep. Because that, I get it. I don't know why. I don't know why I made the voice like that. So I guess I'll tell you the sleepy part in case I come off as weird today.
Mm-hmm.
But the weight thing, I guess, I put it out there in Real Talk. People are going to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Or now you're going to know.
Listen, man, I'll tell you this just to encourage you, dude. You look good.
I
You do.
appreciate it.
And
But just don't feel good. You know that feeling?
I get it.
Yeah.
That's why I think I want a haircut.
Yeah, I get that feeling too.
Because I'm like, man, straight hoboing it, so I get it.
So,
Yeah, dude. I definitely. The word escapes me, but I definitely feel that a lot because you can definitely tell if I've ever been feeling that way. You can tell because I'll start talking about boxing training again because then I know you can lose weight fast on that. And I'm like, this weird part of me that goes, yeah, I'll just go hit a punching bag a bunch and go do a bunch of this training stuff so I can be slim again.
I get it, man. I get it. I do. And I think a lot of guys, it's not just for like vain reasons, as far as like vanity and stuff, but I also don't think it's wrong that you want to look the best you can, but
Absolutely.
it's also you just don't feel good, man. Your clothes don't fit right. It's one of those days I don't feel.
I get that.
So
I went through so many like small cycles in life where like stuff is fit again and then it doesn't fit again and like you get so happy like it fits again and then it doesn't. Like son of
you'll keep some shirts that are like, listen, I gotta give up on this guy.
Yep.
I'm never gonna wear him again.
Dude, I've done that so many times, man.
Well, anyway, that's it. So moving on. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, of course.
Funtern, you got anything?
Just life is interesting right now. I'm pushing into our TikTok that you should go follow because the insanity is going to be real.
There you go.
Because it's never going to end. Definitely been just craziness on that part. I've been very stressed lately, just trying to balance. I don't know if it's me just trying to balance life or just this feeling of like I have to get everything done. You just got to move. Just do this, do this, do this, because you can't stop. Because I know the second I stop is when I'll just be like, oh, I can just sit here for 5 more minutes. I can just play the video game for 5 more minutes. It'll be fine.
And it turns into like hours and then, dang it.
3 days later.
Yeah.
What have I done?
Yeah.
And then I have to catch up on everything. So I've never been feeling that. And then work's been very interesting. I tried to push the envelope as much as I could with a beard because so desperately want a beard, but I'm not allowed to have one where I work. And it just became core season, which means that we're getting people to come into our
Like test you and stuff?
Like inspections.
in our fast food store, which we're already going to there's just a bunch going on with that, and we already lose points no matter what once they walk through the door, just because we need a new building. So.
Oh, so you get knocked for that?
Yeah, and there's nothing we can do about that.
Well, yeah, you don't own that. So.
So we have to live with that essentially, and it's stressful time because not a lot of people have been trained up. There's not a lot of people. Everybody's very ornery and obstinate right now. So as management, you have people who are underneath us that are like, we want to become managers and we're going to do all this, and I'm just sitting there going, oh, you think you want this until you get it. So I've been having to deal with that and trying to get employees to do what employees are being paid to do, which has not been easy because they've been allowed to do a lot of things they're not supposed to. So it puts me in a weird place. So
culture, man.
That's also been
So
very
weird culture. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Well, keep it up, man. You're doing a good job, especially being positive. I always appreciate it about
Culture's
him.
such a mountain, dude. For real.
Gotta set it, because if you don't, someone will. But Good stuff. Appreciate you guys listening to us vent our life to you. We'll move on. We got some great questions today. Finishing up. If you've got a question, comment, thought, please do send those in. We're coming to the end of the line on those, man, which happens periodically, and then we get hammered with 50. So
I
excited
expect
about
full
that.
hammer.
And then we have some articles to go to. So we'll dive right into the questions. I think I'll go ahead and ask you first.
Okay.
And the first question is, in your opinion, who would be the best partner in crime? I'm going to say Rick Astley because he's never going to give you up. Ba-dum-bum. Thank you, Norman. No doubt in my mind.
Oh, it's absolutely, that's a Norman question.
So
Never gonna give you. Anyways.
Never gonna let you down.
Never gonna run around in
Something.
yes.
Anyway.
Who would be the best partner in crime? I mean, dude, I have a feeling that you may agree with this, but given this is very limited, so my limited knowledge of the superhero world, I'm gonna go with Batman.
One place I didn't even expect. But yeah, Batman would be a good partner in crime.
Yeah, he's gonna,
Until he caught you. Because he was just pretending to be with you all along just to catch you in the act.
Oh boy, you vigilante.
Boom. So, you're up, I think.
Wait, what about you?
Oh. I don't know, man. I have no clue.
He's like Rick Astley.
Yeah, I mean, he's never going to give me up. I don't know, man. Funtern's pretty loyal, man. He may not rat me out.
Yeah.
Trent?
That's a good pick, actually. You went realism. I went superhero world.
If I'm going... yeah. Anyway, moving on.
This is my life.
Told you I'm a weird guy today.
No, that makes sense. Oh, you have one?
With Norman.
Who?
I said Matthew McConaughey because he's gonna make everything all right.
Hey, all right.
Done.
Gosh dang it! I'm about to throw a picture of him right when you say that.
McConaughey.
Let's see. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're okay. Dude, 2
I
hours,
think
man.
I think I'd like to go to like ancient historical places. So clearly, it'd be cool to go and to go to Jerusalem, see some of the places. It'd be cool to see the pyramids.
Yeah.
China, a lot of cool things in China.
Great Wall.
Yeah, but here's one that's going to shock you. It just came to me: Antarctica,
Oh boy.
because I want to see exactly what's really down there.
Are you allowed to still travel to Antarctica? Or no, you can't. You
We've
can't
talked
even-
about this. Only 5 countries in the world are allowed to go there.
It's strictly for research, right? Why? What are you researching?
It's just ice.
It's just ice, huh?
That's why people think we're conspiracy. Anyway, I'd go to Antarctica. I would go to Antarctica, assuming I had a way back, and I'd find out what the truth is.
Listen, man, something's under that ice.
Or, dude, we don't know what's down. They just tell us it's ice. We've never been there.
It's true. What if there's no ice at all?
If it's a different place.
A sunken city.
Atlantis. Anyway, I really would. I'd probably check that out. Antarctica, somewhere like that, where very
Yeah,
few.
dude.
I mean, there's probably well, that's a lie. Who knows how many people have been there? But
Right.
I think it's pretty interesting that only 5 countries in the world, the main powers, are like, yeah, we're the only ones that can go down there. Everybody else,
Right. It's so weird.
Anyway, something like that. Yeah. Anyway,
I think. Oh, you got something, Clint?
Oh, I was gonna say, besides the well, first of all, I'm incredibly paranoid about traveling outside of the country either
Yeah,
because
me
I
too,
saw the
man. I
Taken movies.
yeah.
So on top of my
Niece.
natural paranoia, I have non-real world stuff. Well, also I'm into a lot of true crime, so I am on the downside of paranoia. But if I knew I could be safe, and besides their crazy laws, Saudi Arabia would be very interesting to go to because even just the cultural and how insane it actually is over there would be awesome. That or Japan. And then anywhere in any of the states I haven't gone to in the U.S. because I've been to quite a few.
Doesn't Louisiana hot sauce want to go to Japan?
I am not sure. I know Trent has been to Japan. He was stationed there.
Yeah, he was stationed in Japan.
Who was? Oh,
Trent.
Finding out about Antarctica.
Oh, nice. Nice. Heck yeah, dude.
Going back, I'd go back to Texas.
Nice.
I love being in Texas.
I've
Besides
had-
their strange drought rainstorms that last for hours. It's a great state.
Funny enough, my dad and my brother both moved to Texas recently. So
I was
weird.
completely wrong. There's a ton of countries that can go there. But, however, the original signatories were only 12 countries active in Antarctica during the. But again, if you come from a country, technically, do you need? What I think is weird, man. The main people that live there are scientists and research station workers.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, imagine being a
You can't
scientist.
take even a rock from Antarctica, though.
You can't take a rock.
Can't even take a rock.
Why?
A feather, nothing. I don't know. Part of these treaties.
Weird.
But apparently, there are cruises that go there. But clearly, this isn't what I'm talking about. I would literally go to the. Okay.
Like you would sit like straight up like on the middle of the iceberg and like drill.
Do I even need to drill?
That's fair because there's a giant hole.
Or it's just sitting on top.
Guys, what if it's Godzilla?
I don't think it's Godzilla, man.
Listen, we've only explored 5% of the ocean. How do we not know Godzilla's down there?
Well,
Leviathan. Now, I will say, for me, where I would go, funny enough, if I could, because I don't know if you can, because I think the radiation might still be too bad.
Chernobyl?
Yep.
It is still very high.
Yeah.
I think there are people that live there though. A lot of birth defects.
That's so crazy. It'd just be interesting to go there just to see what it's like. It's gotta have it's when something like that happens, man. Like I feel like there's just a weird energy in those kind of places. It just intrigues me. So,
Even going to Hiroshima, I think that's would be insane.
oh, I agree.
Or even Pearl Harbor.
Because if I remember, like that place is still like wrecked, isn't it?
I'm pretty. Well, I think they've rebuilt a lot of it.
Have they?
Sure. I'm not sure, honestly. I can look into it. Real
Yeah, because
fast.
with the nuclear energy, I don't know if can you or is it still polluted?
is what polluted? Sorry,
Hiroshima.
I'm looking up. Yes, I think it. I don't know. Completely not going to act like I know in this case. Sorry, guys. I'm deep in the Antarctica
No,
world,
I'm in,
getting us
dude.
answers.
I'm excited
because
I'm excited to
someone
hear.
has to get us answers.
That's right. That's right.
Also, back to a question that we had earlier in the show that I was researching. Bic, their first project, first project. It was their first project, but it was their first product. Came out in 1950, and
Okay.
it was the pen.
Oh, so they were a pen company first. Huh.
How do you end up getting into the razor and?
I don't know.
It was the Bic Crystal ballpoint pen.
Heck yeah. the big crystal ballpoint pen. Maybe I'll throw a picture of it. Is there a picture of it on Google? I'll throw it.
Well, ironically, on top of that picture, it shows a Bic lighter and not actually the pen at all. So
That makes sense.
that's what I was
I
like.
just
I was
snorted
like,
so hard. Weird. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Does snorting occur the same way snoring does?
What do you mean?
Like, if you're laughing and like your what is this in your throat? Can't think of it. It's not your trachea, is it? Or is it your esophagus?
I think they're
Or is it
both
both? When it
Jill?
closes off. Yeah, yeah. Nurse Jill. But I think that's what just happened. It closed off. Cut off my air, and that's why you do that. It's so weird. I never noticed till just now because I felt such a crazy vibration in my throat from that. It was kind of scary.
update on
Sleep apnea.
it wasn't Hiroshima, it was Hiroshima, though Hiroshima may be a part of it, but Hiroshima
No, it
and
was
Nagasaki today is on par with extremely low levels of background radiation, natural radioactivity present anywhere on Earth.
Wow. So they made a full recovery from that. That's wild.
Oh, wait 1 minute.
He's going, wait, maybe not.
Oh no, they recovered. Google. Gotta love them.
It's gonna be a weird episode.
Listen, man, this is the Google episode.
Well, I meant just because I can't even function. So you guys are kind of on your own right now.
Well, you're looking in Antarctica, which I'm excited to hear answers from.
Yeah, man, because I know for a fact. I'm trying to find a specific thing.
Is this about the hole?
Yeah.
It's so creepy. I'm excited to hear what you find because I know we've briefly looked into it in the past, and like just kind of in passing, we've seen weird things about it. But man, one of these days, I don't know, man. I don't know about you, but I would just love to do it. We did that episode a long time ago where we did like kind of the conspiracy theory episode. But I would love to just take a full episode to just literally deep dive on one of these things. It'd be so fun.
Well,
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah. People already think we're crazy, so.
Oh yeah, they definitely think we're crazy.
Hmm.
Funtern, you got something?
so it's apparently the public has been since 2011. The public has been able to go to Chernobyl and like it's deemed safe to visit. However,
Wow.
is Chernobyl safe now in 2021? Scientists predict that the zone will not be safe for human inhabitants for another 20,000 years.
Wow.
So I may have been wrong about people. It must be people living near the area, but not
Yeah.
actually in Chernobyl or around
can't
that area
find
at all. It's just, but they say apparently it was 20,000 years, and the radiation levels in 2021 are still dangerously high in
Well,
Pripyat,
yeah.
the red forest, and the areas around the reactor because of the nature of the evacuation. People left in homes, workplaces left their homes and workplaces calmly. Whole bunch to that. So Chernobyl is just still
Chernobyl.
Dude.
insanely radioactive, but apparently it is safe to visit.
Now, is it still?
I think it's illegal, isn't it?
It
that's
wouldn't
what-
surprise me. Now, is it still radioactive because it's still leaking? Is that the problem? Like
don't know.
something is
It's a good
actively
question,
leaking
actually.
there, or
There was an article
think anybody
in,
knows the answer.
2021 where it was the NSC was supposed to stabilize the reactor and stabilize everything in that area.
What year was that?
This is an article in 2021.
Guys, we got to get this show back on track here. We're all over. Anyway, I'm moving on to next questions. Here's the next question. The song Just Beheld got me thinking. Do you think the church, Christianity as a whole, has idolized / glorified getting answers from God so much that we miss more often than not the moments to just be held by God? Not that seeking answers is a bad thing, but it can distract us from the times he just wants us to be silent so we can be held. I think in my experiences, I find more often than not the healing comes more when I let him just hold me and am silent.
interesting. So, I don't know. I think that, I can't think of what verse it is, but it says, like there's a time for everything. So I would definitely say, yeah, there is a time to just rest in God. Let him. Sometimes I found myself, for example, actually funny enough, this is just a recent thing. Like I was sitting in the sanctuary and like all the lights were off. It was just dark in there, and there was just so much like we've talked before about how it's like a different feeling in there. But when like I just went in there and I just sat in the back row for a minute, and I just kind of closed my eyes and I kind of drifted off, and I just kind of said like, man, like I feel your peace, God. Like I feel it. Like to me, like that's kind of what you're talking about here is like just feeling that in the silence, man. Like when you're just sitting, it's just so holy in there, which is so cool. But I definitely agree. Like you want to have those moments, but it's kind of like the pendulum of everything. I think it's okay to have times where you're there, but there's also times where you should be searching for, searching it out. We definitely want to be looking for answers and seeking God. I think if anything, it comes hand in hand. Like part of us is it's like seeking when you're in the silence, but it's also seeking when you're asking the questions. I think it all comes together.
I like that. I think that's really good.
Yeah.
I think that I kind of guess I would take that and sort of change it a little. I think, yeah, in those moments that I think you shared, and I really appreciate the transparency of this question,
Yeah.
but I guess what I would say is I think we definitely can glorify getting what we want over learning from God and being taught by him and grown by him. So, yeah. All right.
All right. Let's see. Next question. It says, I had a friend share this on Facebook. What do you think about it? And it says, it does matter what version of the Bible you read. Various versions are changing the meaning. I thought it was just the NIV version. Just saw this post and looked it up. KJV is not hard to understand. Kids' various reading levels are reading it and comprehending. You just need the Holy Ghost to receive the revelation. And then it has the verse Revelation 22:18-19. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in his book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of his prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book. And she goes on to share pictures of screenshots of the Bible verses and words that were changed, and then sharing the meaning of quote contrary. What are your thoughts on the different Bible versions? Which Bible version do you use? Do you use to read from? KJV, NIV, CSB, etc.
Okay, so a couple of arguments. Yes, so I've said it doesn't matter in the sense of when I'm meeting someone that doesn't know Jesus is an unbeliever, I just want them reading the Bible. Clearly, there are versions, and we're talking about the accepted versions, okay? Everything, when it comes to biblical translation, it really falls along of literal word for word or thought for thought translation. So literal word for word is taking the language and directly translating it regardless of how it fits in a sentence or how it sounds. Right? So it might be on the table the cup is sitting versus the table sitting on the cup. I mean, the cup is sitting on the table. Okay?
Right.
So I think people that make the King James Version the greatest version is their concern is, one, they claim that the source that they got it from is from the King James is older than any of the newer ones use, which is called like the Tetrarch. It doesn't matter,
Gotcha.
except that's been debunked. Also, they say that some of these translations are very liberal and all of that, and they don't, and that's fair. But again, the King James Version also has its own kind of slant as it was commissioned by King James. So here's the thing.
Right.
Here's my best argument at that. Right now, today, if we were to go and translate the Bible into a tribe, let's say in some forgotten corner of the world, some corner of the world we haven't been to, we're not going to translate it into their language from 500 years ago. We're going to translate it into their language as spoken today.
Right now.
So why are we going to sit here and say we want to focus and make people they have to read a version that is translated from 500 years ago English?
It makes no sense.
So there's nothing, do I think the King James Version is one of the versions that is a solid version? Absolutely.
Right.
So is the CSB, the CSB, the NI. So you kind of have the NIV and the NLT, which is a New Living Translation. They're sort of like thought for thought translations. And then you have the King James Version, the ESV, which is the English Standard Version, the CSB, which is Christian Standard Bible, or Christian, Standard Bible. That's
This is a CSB right here.
correct. That's the new one. It used to be called Holman Christian Standard.
Yeah.
Then they just dropped the Holman, which is fine. Whatever.
Which is funny because even at the bottom it says Holman right here.
Yeah, I think that's just like become their
Yep.
that's the company now. So yes, it matters in the sense of you should use one of the Bibles that has been accepted as and by numerous scholars, and we know that it's been accurately translated.
Exactly.
Do I
100%
tend
agree
to
with that.
think that? What are your thoughts on different Bible versions? I think that, so then you've got the Message, and then there's another one that's kind of like out there as far as just sort of paraphrased by one author.
Yeah.
I definitely think that you should be reading, your study should come from, at least at your resources, you should have one of the main, or one of the kind of, for lack of a better word, you shouldn't have a paraphrased Bible like the Message as your main study Bible. Right, I mean, or at least you should have one of the others with it. So ESV, what does that make sense?
Oh, 100%.
So do I think the King James Version is even the most superior version? Not to me. I think it's a good version. Okay, for those that want to do that, but I think the ESV and the CSB are just as accurate.
Yeah.
Just a little easier to read in the context of a modern sentence.
Yeah, it's just modern.
I personally use ESV and CSB. Doesn't mean I don't look up some of the other ones sometimes just for the flow of it, but I study out of the ESV and the CSB, and I preach primarily out of those as well. Probably more CSB than the ESV, just because the CSB, in my opinion, is a little better for public speaking flow.
Right.
But both great Bibles.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I also don't have a problem really with the NASB is solid Bible. Now there's a new one that came out, like a new edited NASB, something like that. I'd have to look it up. where they brought in non-Christian biblical language experts. So there's people that aren't Christians that study those ancient languages and had them as part of the translation. The problem there is they're not gonna like really have the authority of like they're not going to come at it from the entirety of the Bible. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, because that's not what they believe.
So, guys, if I seem like I'm all over the place, if I'm completely honest with you, is I taught this just recently in our foundations class, right?
Yeah.
The issue is I would have to sit here for 15 minutes and show you some graphs and stuff to really go into translations. I do understand it. I've studied it. I've learned it in school. Bottom line is I have said before, it doesn't matter what Bible version. So it makes me wonder if someone like saw our thing and then. So, amen. It does matter to a degree. But if I'm just now talking to someone that doesn't know Jesus and all they have is the message and at least they can get something, yeah. If you ask me what Bibles I buy people personally, I would get them a CSB or a ESV. And I think the King James Version is a fine Bible if that's what you want to use. I don't think it's the most superior Bible.
No, me either.
But I don't want to alienate anyone that, and it's not something we should be arguing about, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it's a small thing, man.
Now, there are versions out there you got to be leery of. I'm very leery of any translation that changes things to make it more culturally acceptable, more woke, more. For instance, there's a version that came out when I was in college. I went to a Christian college for part of my undergrad, and they gave us all these free Bibles. The company did, and at first everybody was like, "Yeah," except we ended up finding out it changed all of the male pronouns of God and stuff to gender neutral ones, which is really creepy and weird.
Yes.
Does this make sense, guys? Like this,
100%.
did I answer this question appropriately?
I think you did.
So I don't really know what to say to the rest of what you're saying. I think that that verse is taken out of context. Clearly, I believe the Apostle John, who wrote that, was saying that someone who changes or adds to this prophecy, right? That's different than translating it.
That's right.
Meaning that like adding to the end of it, and thou shalt give all thy money to the United States of America. Things like
Exactly.
that. Changing it. So I think we as Christians tend to argue over things that are silly to argue about.
They are silly.
But
100%.
we sure as heck don't make a big. I don't know. We should be arguing about the Christians out there that aren't filled with grace and mercy and love, or who try to create a have and have not system. Maybe that we should care more about that than ripping people apart because they don't read the King James Version.
Exactly.
Just my opinion.
I'm 100% with you.
And I have some relatives that would sit here and who are solid believers who would sit here and argue with me on that. So. Anyway.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Sorry, guys. I'm sleepy, and that's a long one to go into.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
No, I think you
if you're asking my I don't know, suggestion, I'll say it again. I think it's completely fine to have the message and the New Living Translation to kind of compare to. Sometimes I've heard people reading this Passion one. I'm a little, that's fine because it is very poetic.
Yeah.
I think you should always have an ESV, a CSB, even a King James if you want as your comparison.
That's good.
As you study.
Right.
Have both of those.
Yeah, because I know for me, like I've used the message before.
Sure.
If I for some reason was having I've read it, like say I'm reading like CSB or ESV, I'm like for some reason this is not clicking what it's saying.
Yeah, but go back and compare it to those.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I do. I'll go to the message and read it. Go, okay, that's an idea. Now let's put it.
And the
to
reason
direct
for the
text.
message was written by one guy of what he's essentially he believes it's saying.
Yes.
And even though I think the guy's a good guy from and it has helped a lot of people, it's one person versus a group of scholars that work together. So.
And I think you're right when it comes to terms of like truth, like idea to idea, compared to like almost like word for word.
Yeah.
You're gonna get more out of the word for word instead of from idea.
Yeah. So we got to trust the Holy Spirit in that too, man.
Definitely.
So anyway,
Let's see. It's actually all the questions.
that's
we
it,
have.
man.
That's right.
That's all of them.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Do you want to go into an article or two?
I don't know how long we've been going today.
And
I don't
that's
know,
what
man.
I
This
was
show's
curious
been
about.
sort of a disaster today, which we've had a lot of good shows. I take full responsibility for this episode.
I think we should return with answers of Antarctica next week. Either way.
I think this Elon Musk one is a quick one to touch base on.
Okay.
That I don't know, Funtern found this and thought it was interesting. I don't think we should get all up in arms. But the headline is it's from the Christian Post. And the Christian satire site, the Babylon Bee, if you haven't heard of it, it's kind of funny. They actually interviewed Elon Musk recently.
Yes.
And the headline is, Elon Musk says he agrees with the teachings of Jesus. There is great wisdom.
Yes.
And he sat down with the Babylon Bee CEO, Seth Dillon, and editor-in-chief Kyle Mann, and the creative director, Ethan and Nicole, for an in-depth interview. The four discuss wokeness, Senator Elizabeth Warren, taxing the rich, and more. So I think that Musk said that he respects and agrees with the principles that Jesus advocated, such as forgiveness and treating people as you wish to be treated. Things like turn the other cheek are very important, as opposed to an eye for an eye. An eye for an eye leaves everyone blind. So he is not a Christian.
No.
He considers himself kind of maybe a deist, which is he believes in a God. If he does, as Einstein was quoted as saying, I believe in Spinoza's God, who reveals himself in the orderly harmony of what exists, not in a God who concerns himself with fates and actions of human beings.
Yeah, man, it's odd. Now, I think what's interesting, and I highlighted this part because I don't know the way that because Elon in the interview made a joke, like how they were like, because they kind of plugged like, hey, like this is a Christian like podcast, like this is a ministry, and so they asked him like would you accept like Christ as your Lord and Savior, and they kind of like, we got him, because he said like,
sure, if he's saving
if he's saving people, won't stand his way, sure, I'll be saved, why not? And so like, and then like, we got him. Like, it's just interesting because like, I don't know, like how would you treat the situation if you have a guy like Elon Musk?
I don't think that's real funny. Because they're Christians, he's not, so they're kind of making light of something
That's very serious.
Yeah, man, and I know that's their business, right?
Right.
Is and they do. It's funny, man. They do make points with their satire, but I think when you're dealing with a human, I just don't think I would have approached it that way, because what you're doing then is kind of making a very serious thing sort of a joke.
Exactly.
So, and it's not a joke for Elon. Like, he's not a Christian, and certainly we pray and hope that someday he comes to know the Lord. But
Absolutely.
yeah, that's a good point, man.
Yeah, that was definitely one thing I took from it, was like, why? I wonder why they approached it that way. Like, they had a really cool opportunity to really like actually tell him the gospel, and
Like, truly.
yes, especially when he was willing to like even like, he seemed open to it when he was even making jokes, like. Because I saw like one of the funny things was like, he was like, well, shouldn't you guys be at church? Because they recorded it on a Sunday.
Oh yeah.
And so he was making jokes about it, them being there recording with him instead of being at church on a Sunday, which I thought was funny. But like, I don't know, definitely like, it's cool that he was open to the teachings of it. But like you said, like, he's definitely not a Christian, and that means we know where he's going, which sucks. But like, cool that they were able to get a guy like Elon Musk on the podcast. But yeah, the only thing I thought was like, man, like, it would have been cool if they really told him the gospel.
Yeah.
Now we don't have the full context of the podcast.
We haven't listened to the actual interview.
So maybe they did, or
And this
even
isn't
maybe
actually
outside of the
mentioned.
podcast they actually tried to talk to him. Who knows?
That's true. Like one of them went off, or
Yeah.
that's true.
But just given what we have, I guess I can say I hope there was an opportunity taken to try to tell Elon Musk the true gospel.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know about you, but frankly, this train wreck, let's just call it.
Let's just call it.
Trainwreck 2.0.
You know what? You know what's funny? I don't think this is on a train wreck level, because the train wreck was just more like we were just weird with each other.
Yeah. No, I know that. I actually completely forgot about that episode.
Really?
When I said that.
I think that's
So
a
I
pretty popular
apologize to
one.
everyone out there, man. I think I was the one that brought it down. The guys brought it today, and turns out you got to sleep and not be sick. So,
Dude, listen, man.
I think we started out okay. We had some good times at the beginning.
Oh, dude, this is a great episode. I still think it's a great episode. We had a lot of cool stuff we talked about, and honestly, like, dude, you're a machine, man. Like, you are a different breed of human. You function so well.
I don't feel like I'm functioning well, truthfully.
I mean, this is one of the few times where like, okay, like, we got a couple hours and he's struggling, but dude, that's a rarity for you. So I mean, like,
There's a Todd trade for a reason.
Yeah, because I've had to. Yeah, you're right. That is weird today. I don't know what it is, man. But hey, guys, in all seriousness, we do appreciate and love you so much. Thanks for sticking around with us through train wrecks, great episodes, not so great episodes, and everything in between.
yes,
I can tell you this. I learned so much from your guys' questions and your thoughts. Please continue to send some in. I can't tell how many times we have people that know us personally, or and they'll ask us these questions. Like, man, I wish you would ask that on Real Talk, because I think it might benefit a lot of people. Remember, your questions, when you ask him, someone else has it too. So
Definitely.
maybe they don't have someone to talk to about it like you do. So take that opportunity to use this platform to do that.
Yes.
AJ, you got anything?
Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for supporting us. I will ask one thing of you.
Okay.
If you're watching from Facebook, hit that share button and put a little blurb at the top letting people know why you like it. And keep flooding the comments. I saw you guys. We almost had 30 comments last week.
We only saw like 4.
It's
but
right.
Keep doing it.
I love it.
Yeah.
YouTube, if you guys are watching from YouTube, hey, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're posting. And if you're watching from Rumble, hey, why don't you give us a Rumble while you're at it?
Give us a rumble.
And that's it. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Fun turn?
If you're listening on any of our podcast apps, I ask you to leave a review, a nice little review, a 5-star review. It really helps us on the business end of things. I would really appreciate it. You can say anything as long as it's nice. Please tell us, or even if you want to tell us our favorite color. My favorite color is like black or green.
Your
or
favorite
red.
color is black.
It's really a tie between
Said
three.
what you said, man.
But anyways, you
black.
can put down your 3 colors and have a great time and leave us a 5-star review. If you didn't like this, we ask you not to leave a review. If you didn't like it,
They're still
It was
around
nice.
there.
it was nice to see you. But we may not be your cup of tea. But we may be your cup of tea if you want to argue and actually have a discussion. So anyways, leave us a review if you liked us. Leave us something nice. Let us know how we're doing.
Also,
Thank
quick shout out to Kelsey on YouTube.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
Love her
commenting.
thoughts, man.
Yes. And Josh. Josh, thank you so much, man. I saw you said you like PB&J's too, so that's hilarious.
Nice.
Oh, no,
Josh
mine.
A. Yep.
Nice.
Nice.
Cool. Well, hey, guys, we appreciate you. We love you. Keep the questions coming. We got some fun stuff coming up for you, some
Yes,
surprises. And also, next week, Lord willing, we're here. It'll be 150, and AJ promised something exciting for it.
I did.
So, hey, we love you guys. Appreciate you. Hope you have a great day. And truly, God bless you.